I don't know what that button looks like.
And we're going to set up our paper
Nope.
in Cornell format.
Recording.
You will be adding
What is
questions,
that?
comments, examples to the left-hand side of your paper and a summary at the bottom. And we will be working on the right-hand side together.
What is that key?
So first we need to look at what is a binomial. If we have something with one term, that's a monomial. And then if I decide to add an extra term to it, now I have two terms and that's a binomial. So in today's lesson, we're going to be multiplying binomials. But let's first go back and remember what we did in our last lesson, which was distributing something like 3 times x minus 4. And if you remember, when we distributed that 3, the 3 is going to go to each of the things inside of the parentheses. And so I get 3 times x, which is 3x, and 3 times negative 4, which is negative 12. We're going to be doing the same thing today, but with binomials. When we multiply the first term, we need to remember there's a second term, so we're actually going to have two distributions going on. We're going to use something called FOIL. So let's look at what this means. We've got F and O for first outer. And then we have I and L for inner last. And this is just something to help us remember how to multiply these. So no matter what the book says to how to multiply these out, you can always use FOIL. So let's look at how this FOIL works. Let's look at 2x plus 3 times the quantity x plus 4. And so first outer, this is my first outer term, so first term to the first term in the next set of parentheses. 2x times x is 2x squared. And then I'm going to multiply the outer term. 2x times positive 4 is positive 8x. And now I've distributed this to both of these things. It's time for the positive 3. So here's my inner. Positive 3 times x is positive 3x. And positive 3 times positive 4 is positive 12. Now if you notice, I have 4 terms here, but I can combine these two in the center because they both have an x to the power 1. So let me go ahead and do that. And I get 2x squared, positive 8 and positive 3 is positive 11x plus 12. And we have multiplied two binomials. Let's look at another example. Let's look at 6h minus 7. We're going to multiply this by 2h plus 3. Alright, using FOIL, I have first 6h times 2h is 12h squared. And I have outer 6h times positive 3 is positive 18h. And then I have inner negative 7 times positive 2h is negative 14h. And then I have last negative 7 times positive 3 is negative 21. Once again, I have terms in the center here that are like. They both have an h to the power 1, so I can combine those, and we get 12h squared. Positive 18h minus 14h is positive 4h minus 21. Let's do one more example here, and then we'll write down some examples we'll do when you get to class. So last example up here, we're going to look at x plus 2 times the quantity x plus 4. So if you see, we started out with the harder ones. First, First term times first term, we get x times x is x squared. Outer terms, x times positive 4 is positive 4x. Then we have our inner terms, positive 2 times x is positive 2x. And our last terms, positive 2 times positive 4 is positive 8. Going through looking for like terms that I can combine, I see that I can combine this positive 4 and positive 2. So x squared plus 6x plus 8. Now we're going to write down some examples that we'll do together in class on the board. So please leave some space. I am not going to leave space here for the sake of I need to take notes underneath this. So we'll do 4 examples together when you come to class. Let's look at m plus 3 times the quantity m plus 7. We'll do that one. We'll do x minus 1 times x minus 8. We will do 5m plus 2 times the quantity 8m minus 1. And lastly, we'll look at 3y plus 1 times 3y plus 2. Alright, go ahead and leave some space here so that when you come back to class you can update your notes and do these examples. Now the last thing we're going to look at today is something that people call special cases. And the reason I don't teach this section differently, I'm going to move my notebook, is because even though they're special cases, we do the same exact thing with them. They just end up having a certain pattern to them that once you realize the pattern, it makes it easier to solve the problem. And so we're just going to look at them like everything else we're doing today. And so instead of just learning special cases, we're going to multiply them out using FOIL. So first let's look at y plus 6 times the quantity y minus 6. And we're going to just use our regular FOIL. First is y times y, which is y squared. Outer is y times negative 6, which is negative 6y. Then we have our inner, positive 6 times y is positive 6y. And last, positive 6 times negative 6 is negative 36. What happens here when I combine my middle terms is that they're going to go away because they're opposites. So if you see plus 6 minus 6, we know these centers are going to go away, but you don't need to memorize that. You'll get it soon enough when you've done enough problems. So always go back to using FOIL, which will come out to be the correct answer. Let's look at something like x plus 4 squared. Now if we were to write this in expanded form, how many x plus 4's would I have? This exponent tells me I'm going to have 2 of them. So I'm going to write that out as x plus 4 times x plus 4. And we're going to use FOIL. So we don't have to memorize anything right now. First term times first term, we get x squared. Outer terms, we get x times positive 4, which is positive 4x. And then we have our inner terms, positive 4 times x is positive 4x. And our last terms, positive 4 times positive 4, which is positive 16. Now I notice that my ends are matching, but they are both the same sign. So instead of losing that middle term, I'm just going to add those two numbers together, and we get x squared plus 8x plus 16. So these are what they call special cases. And we'll do some more examples of these in class. So to finish up today, we're going to write the next 4 examples we'll do when you come in. 3x plus 1 times the quantity 3x minus 1. And we'll do x plus y times the quantity x minus y. Third, we will look at 2m minus 5 squared. And lastly, we'll look at a plus 3b squared. I don't have room at the bottom of my paper here, but you're going to have to flip this over anyways to do these examples. So make sure you have your left-hand side ready to go. You've got your space left in the center so that we can work these examples out, and when you come in, we'll do these last of 4 examples, and then you can write a summary.